Oh my God, we are actually talking about a Phillies series win against the Miami Marlins, let alone against the Miami Marlins in Miami. The Phillies actually win a series in Miami, something they have never done since I think they said 2019. My God, it's been that long. And that's how long the Marlins have been our goddamn Achilles heel, especially in Miami. I have no idea what the deal is with that. But hey, you get a nice win yesterday, 1-run game. Your pitching was fantastic, especially the bullpen standpoint, and you came up huge late with the timely hits against Sandy Alcantara. Today, when in yesterday's recap, actually, I wanted the offense to break out today, especially against a young pitcher in Meyer who was making his major league debut. And boy, boy howdy, did they actually come through. I made the prediction. I asked the Phillies to do this, and they responded to me saying, "Hey, TTP, we got you. We got you back." And that's what they exactly do. They destroy the Marlins. They win 10-0. My goodness. Ranger Suarez making his first appearance in a while with the back spasms. He looked pretty solid. Not going to lie. He looked pretty good out there. And that is very nice to see Ranger do that after missing a good amount of time here. And that's something that he can really build off of going into this All-Star break, because he's really going to need that week off, especially, this is his first start in the past week and a half or something like that. Gets this start in here before the All-Star break. Something to build off of. Bullpen very solid once again, and the offense was the major showcasing in this entire game. Literally everyone in the starting lineup and then some got a hit in this ballgame. The only guy to not register a hit in this ballgame was a pinch hit at bat by Garrett Stubbs. So yeah, everyone chipped in this ballgame. Didi Gregorius with a huge game. The home run swing, huge in this ballgame as well. JT Realmuto with an absolute moonshot. Didi Gregorius finally goes deep. He finally gets off the schneid and gets a home run, which was huge. Rhys Hoskins also went deep. And Kyle Schwarber, he ended over 20-plus skid with a home run of his own, going down to one knee, 29th of the year. So everyone did their little piece today with the offense, and it was a very nice, relaxing win. A nice, relaxing, enjoyable win against the Miami Marlins, and it's something that you haven't done in a while. Win a series in Miami, and you have a chance to sweep in Miami tomorrow. A really great chance to sweep because you have Aaron Nola on the bump tomorrow. So that is really good to see. And also, I think Trevor Rogers is also pitching on the mound for Miami tomorrow, and he has not been good this year. And with the offense, with the way they batted today, I like our chances. I do. I want to see Aaron Nola have a bounce-back game, though, from the last one in Miami. I would like to see Aaron Nola come out tomorrow and dominate, like Ranger Suarez did today, honestly. I would like to see that out of Aaron Nola. So, yeah, very nice win. Overall, just a very solid team victory all around by this Phillies team. Bats showed up. The pitching was very good. And the Marlins just, they had no chance in this ballgame, thankfully. Max Meyer, honestly, on the mound, he had some nasty stuff there, but he was leaving a lot of stuff over the middle of the plate, and the Phillies eventually got to him with the JT and the Rhys home runs. But hey, when the Marlins bullpen came into the mix, it was basically done from there, where the Phillies offense was just clicking on all goddamn cylinders later in this ballgame, which was very nice to see. Very relaxing. That's all I'm asking for. Relaxing and enjoyable wins. Thank God. Thank God. That was nice. That was very nice to see. So let's get into this ball game, actually. So let's look at the pitching stats first. Ranger Suarez, first game since being put on the IL with those back spasms, had a very nice outing in this ball game. Goes 5 innings, 4 hits allowed, and 4 strikeouts on 64 pitches. Marlins had some chances with runners in scoring position. I think they only had maybe 1 or 2 or something like that when Ranger was on the mound. And hey, he managed to get out of those situations. Phillies defense came up to play for him as well. So that was very nice to see. Ange Bellotti came in, struck out 3 batters. Connor Brogdon only needed 7 pitches in his 7th inning in relief. Nick Nelson only needed 12 pitches with a strikeout. And then Jojo Romero, his first appearance since having Tommy John surgery in the Major League Baseball, had a very solid bottom of the 9th inning, basically, when the game was already over at that point. So that's all you can ask for. So that's very nice to see. Pitching was very solid, 9 strikeouts in total for the pitching staff all around, which is nice to see. And then you go into this ball game. It was very quiet at first. Nick Castellanos did have a nice, opposite field double in the top of the first inning. It didn't result in anything, but it was nice to see him go the other way. But overall, still, I'm not going to, fully threat on Nick, even though he has like a nice hitting streak going on here for him. I think it's like a 5 or 6 game hitting streaks. So maybe that's something, but right now I'm not going to say anything more until Nick Castellanos proves it more to us. And really just, it was quiet early on the ball game. It definitely was for both sides. The runs really did not start until the top of the 4th inning. So you go to that top of the 4th inning. Didn't look like it was going to be anything, actually, because the Phillies got the first 2 outs of the inning. Rhys Hoskins grounds out, and Nick Castellanos strikes out. Derek Hall puts up a nice at-bat. He singles right up the middle. And then JT Realmuto with an absolute nuke. A nuke. The dead center field makes it a 2-0 ball game for the Phillies. Then you go to the top of the 6th inning. Rhys Hoskins leads off with a solo shot, makes it 3-0. Nick Castellanos works out a walk. JT Realmuto gets a double down the left field line. So you get a 2nd and 3rd situation. Marlins decide to go to the bullpen. Bryce and Stott then strikes out. But then Alec Bohm gets a technical walk because they brought a lefty on the mound, and his numbers are worse, obviously, against right-handed pitching. So it kind of makes sense to, try to intentionally walk Alec Bohm, coming up to a very struggling Didi Gregorius. What does Didi do? Oh, he makes them pay. He makes them pay. Single up the middle, scores 2 runs, makes it 5-0. Huge hit there from Didi. Huge hit. Matt Vierling did have more runners in scoring position at that point, but the damage was done by Didi. So that was a nice little run cushion there. And then we go to the top of the 8th because the Marlins were basically going down very easy in the other innings. Bilotti got those 3 strikeouts. Brogdon had a very quick bottom of the 7th inning. So you go to the top of the 8th inning. Derek Hall leads off with a double. Hall moves over to third base on a JT, basically ground out. Bryce and Stott doubles down the left field line. Scores Derek Hall, makes it 6-0. Stott managed to get the second base on a double, obviously. Alec Bohm with a single up the left field. Scores Stott. And then Didi Gregorius, my goodness. My goodness. You think about this was like his 20th home run of the year with the way he hit it. He absolutely destroyed it. My God. But hey, hell of a way to get your first home run of the season. Took you long enough, Didi. It took you. But I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you got your first one and got off the schneid there. And then Kyle Schwarber, homer, not long after, on one knee, had a nice catch out there from Santa Claus off vacationing in Miami with his Phillies jersey on. Nice catch out there. Kyle Schwarber on one, actually one at bat earlier in the ball game against Meyer. He hung a changeup and Kyle Schwarber destroyed one. It barely just went foul. So I think Schwarber was due to crush one in his ball game with the way that swing happened earlier. And I think he was just due in general because he was like on an 0-for-20 stretch or something like that, a little more. So that's very good for Kyle Schwarber to get that little home run in there. And then basically, that's 10-0 ball game from that point. Bottom of the 8th for the Marlins, nothing there. Then that's your ball game. Go to the bottom of the 9th, Jojo Romero out there. Easy pickings at that point. It's basically a 10-0 win for your Phillies, and they win. They win. It's nice. Nice to see. Their record right now is 48-43. And you win a series in Miami. I think that's the most important thing here. You won a series in Miami. Something that you haven't done 3 years in 3 seasons. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice to see. And that's what you got to keep on doing. It's just winning series. And honestly, that makes this road trip feel a little better. It does. You win those first 2 games in St. Louis. And then you fall on the back 2. Okay, the Cardinals found their bats. But then you lost those 2 in Toronto, where the bats continued to go quiet. This entire road trip, the bats were insanely quiet. They were in an offensive slump. They haven't scored more than 3 runs in a game this entire road trip. What a way to get off the schneid. Winning a series in Miami, and you have a chance to sweep tomorrow to make it a 5-4 road trip. Hey, kudos. Kudos to this team for winning a series in Miami after, on a 4-game losing streak. That's a way to bounce back. That is a good way to bounce back for this team. Looking at the lineup, Kyle Schwarber goes 1 for 5 with the solo shot in the ball game. Same thing for Rhys Hoskins. He goes 1 for 4. Eventually got pinched hit for Yohan Camargo when the game was basically a blowout. Same thing for Nick Castellanos. He goes 1 for 3. Eventually gets pinch hit for Dubal Herrera. Derek Hall goes 2 for 5. JT Realmuto goes 2 for 5 with the home run. Bryson Stott goes 2 for 5. Alec Boehm goes 1 for 4. Didi Gregorius goes 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs on the day. He had a fantastic day at the plate, so good for Didi. Good for Didi to have that day at the plate because he desperately needed it. And Matt Vierling had a hit. He went 1 for 4. Runners in scoring position for the Phillies in this game, if I can find it, go 3 for 9. Very solid. Home run ball does definitely help. It definitely helps for this team. So then if you go to tomorrow's game, like I said, I think it's most likely going to be Aaron Nola going up against Trevor Rogers. So looking at Trevor Rogers' numbers on the year, he is 4-8 with a 5.42 ERA. And looking at his past couple of starts, 5 1/3 innings, 4 2/3 innings, 5 innings, 4 1/3, 5 innings. He hasn't gone past 5 innings in his past couple of starts. And there's 4 losses mixed in there. 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 3 earned runs. So he's not having a good year. That's basically the side of that. So there you go. There you go. Overall, just a very solid win for this team. Very solid win. And actually, I want to look at the standings right here because I know the Phillies yesterday, they were a half game or tied with the Cardinals with the third wild card spot. So if I'm looking at it right here, yes, the Phillies are still a half game behind the Cardinals for that third wild card spot, but they put some nice separation between them and the Marlins. The Marlins coming into the series, I believe they were like 3 games or something like that behind the Phillies. So now the Phillies get 2 games ahead of them in this 2 wins in this series. They're a half game behind the Marlins. They're a full game ahead of the San Francisco Giants, which is nice to see. And hey, just continue the battle. And looking at some of the scores, I want to see where the Cardinals at. Yep, they did beat Cincinnati today, and they beat Cincinnati yesterday. So that's understandable on that point. Still, just continue the battle. That's what you got to do. What you got to do at this point. Continue the battle, win your series at hand, because the schedule after the All-Star break does favor you. It does. You do play the Mets. You do play the Braves. But, you're what's the word? What's the word? Come to me. Your quality of opponents gets a lot weaker in the second half of the year, other than when you're playing your divisional opponents, the Braves, the Mets, etc. Those stuff. You'll be seeing the Nationals a lot more series against the Marlins. You're going to be playing the Reds eventually, Pirates, Cubs. You're going to be seeing those teams. So you got to take advantage of when you get those opportunities. I do think they mixed the Astros in there at the end of the season, I believe. But still, like I said, your quality of opponents and your quality of your schedule really favors you going into the end of the year. And winning series is the most important thing. And they did that right here. And it's a huge series win going into the All-Star break, and you have a chance to sweep tomorrow with Aaron Nola on the bump. Let's see what happens. Let's definitely see what happens in that standpoint. Looking at the chat here, got quite a few of you in here. Channel name says, finally, Didi. Scott says, first time in a long time, I can't say with confidence that the stinking fish monkey is off our backs. Yeah, honestly, that's 2 series in a row winning for the Phillies over the Marlins. The last series win when Garrett Stubbs hit that walk-off shot in the final game. And then you get this series win, which was nice to see. Mr. W says, hopefully this will spark Didi to continue raking. Hopefully that is the case, because he definitely needed to get off the schneid. Also said, thank God Schwarber got something out of this game, because he was kind of scared if he went hitless until the home run derby, that would affect his performance in a mental way and drag him down. Honestly, I kind of wouldn't have been worried about that, because I know a lot of people say that the home run derby kind of ruins your swing. I kind of felt like with Schwarber going into it struggling, and he knew he was just going to have fun in that instance, maybe the home run derby would have fixed his swing with the way he does, because he basically has that generic, power softball type of swing, to where he can just absolutely annihilate the baseball, like he was doing basically through the past month and a half. Honestly, I kind of think it's the opposite effect for Schwarber. I think the home run derby can fix his swing and get him back into being confident. Who knows, though? But it was nice to see him get off the schneid today. It definitely was. Bilo says, very impressive win. Definitely. Scott says, what a wonderful, complete team win. It was great to see the merry-go-round, round, finish it off tomorrow, get rest, get healthy, and welcome the Cubs to Citizens Bank Park. Definitely. Gotta admit, didn't know Jojo Romero was still alive, from Sean Fitzpatrick. How are you doing, Sean? Haven't heard from you in a little bit. Yeah, Jojo Romero had Tommy John surgery, so he didn't play at all last year. So then he was on the 60-day DL, made a few rehab appearances, and he finally made his major league debut. Well, not debut, his season debut in the major leagues this year. So, and that's what I tried to say. Scott says, pitching was so dominant, the fish only had 1 runner in scoring position. Yes, Look at they went 0 for 1 in that chance. The Marlins only had 5 hits in this ball game. And the Phillies have been shutting down Miguel Rojas in this series. He is known to be the Phillies killer for this Marlins team. And granted, yes, the Marlins do have quite a few injuries. I know Jazz Chisholm is an injured player on this team. It's not going to be playing in the All-Star game. So that is definitely huge. But hey, take advantage of everything you can get, regardless of the opponent you're playing. Regardless. Miami has been our kryptonite. Exactly. What the hell? Let's put Sam Coonrod out there tomorrow to continue our streak of relievers returning from the scrap heap. Hey, the bullpen's been really good over the past past 2-3 weeks. Why not? Why not? Got to go for the jugular tomorrow and sweep these bastards. You beat Alcantara, have to get the win against the other starters. Exactly. Any thoughts on Juan Soto rejecting the $440 million for 15 years? That just because I think what was it? It was the back tracking of the contract. It was the same thing they did to Bryce Harper when they offered him that contract. There was just so much money pushed through so many years further down the line. I gotta go to Ken Rosenthal because I know he posted it there in everything in there. So if I go to that post about here we go. This is from John Heyman, actually. Juan Soto declines a $440 million 15-year offer from the Nationals and will be available now. A few reasons he declined. Heavy backloading of the deal to a big deferral. $29 million annual value seems like an old figure in the light of Scherzer and other deals. Team is likely to be sold, so the owner is unknown for Juan Soto. Yeah, basically. Seriously, when you're seeing a lot of these other contracts, when you're seeing other players make in the $35 to $40 million per season range, you can understand that from a fact from Juan Soto. And also, he's one of the great young players in this game, and he's still very young too, and also has a World Series under his belt, and he's going to be a future MVP of this league. I can understand why, and also with the way they offer the contract and with the Washington Nationals situation, with the owner situation, they're most likely going to sell the team, and the owner situation is unknown. It's understandable for Juan Soto not to want to stick around there when he doesn't know the direction of where the team's going. So, for the National standpoint, you trade Juan Soto and you get the best package you can because you're going to get a haul for him. You're going to get an absolute haul for a young superstar in this league. And how old is Juan Soto? Because I think he's barely 20. I don't even think he's 25 yet. I don't even think so. He's 23. He's 23 years old, and he's a bona fide superstar in this league. Honestly, if you're looking around the league, he does have a lot of control left on his contract. I want to see the rest of his contract, actually. Let's see what else is left there. So if I go to Spot Track, how many years does he have left? Okay, so you still have 2 more years of control left of Juan Soto for whoever trades him after this for this season, because he's most likely going to get traded at the deadline. You have this year's salary at $17.1 million, and then he has 2 more years of arbitration left. And then when he's 26 years old, that's when he becomes a UFA. There's going to be a lot of teams cracking at the mix to get Juan Soto. Looking at teams like the Dodgers, of course, they're going to be the mix regardless because they're the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have a stacked farm system. They can give up basically anything to get Juan Soto. San Francisco Giants, I could see them being a part of it. Maybe the Mets. I know Juan Soto posted a couple of years ago something that he wants to play for the New York Mets or something like that. There was an Instagram post of him in Citi Field or something like that. Could be some ties there. But that would be more of I would think, a free agency type of thing if another team can't sign him to a longer-term deal. Because if Juan Soto were to hit free agency, I would think he goes to the New York Mets. That's just my understanding at the point, because I would not doubt Steve Cohen handing out a lot of money because that dude likes to spend. I wouldn't put it against him. I definitely wouldn't. Sean says his thought is if it's a financial struggle for Soto, he'll gladly take the burden off of him and handle the money himself. I mean, hey, I'll take that money from Juan Soto. I'll gladly do it. Andrew Bellotti has been solid, but as a fan, he is tough to watch. Pace of a snail. Hope Soto goes to the AL at least so we see him less. I do think he goes out west. I kind of do think that. I kind of think the Dodgers are most likely going to be the favorite to land him. But like I said, don't put out teams like, the Dodgers. I just said them, the Giants maybe. Who else? I'm trying to think. Maybe the Astros. Maybe I'm trying to think of other teams. Maybe the Mets could be involved in it too. The Yankees. Definitely, I would see the Yankees being involved in it as well. Trying to think of what else. I don't see any other team on the Central Division doing it. I don't see like no American League Central team. National League Central. The only team I could see is the Cardinals, but they definitely would not pay that much to get Juan Soto. In my honest opinion, the Brewers definitely not. So really, it's either out west or most likely, I think it's out west. I'm trying to like think of it, like put it in my mind. I think more likely it goes out west. If Soto goes to the Dodgers or the Yankees, there's gonna be a lot of talk about how fair that really is. Only got to handle. It's like when those two teams have like stacked prospect pools and they're willing to pay as much as they can to get a rising superstar. Yeah, that's definitely going to come up in talks because a lot of small market teams are definitely not going to be able to afford Juan Soto. That's just the thing. That's just the thing that's when baseball. There's a lot of rich teams. There's a lot of cheaper teams. You're most likely, like I said, you're going to be seeing the Dodgers involved, maybe the Giants, Yankees, Mets, maybe. With the Phillies getting involved, I doubt it. I won't think the Phillies get involved because they really don't have that much in the prospect system besides pitchers. Amadeo, are you worried as Lamb that Dombrowski may deal Micah Bell or Andrew Patriot in a deadline deal? No. I don't think he's touching either of those two. He's actually stated too that those two pitchers are untouchable for the Phillies farm system. I don't think he's going to go out there and make a big blockbuster splash. I think he's going to do something similar to what he did last year. Go out, get some depth pieces for the bullpen, maybe bolster the bench a little bit, and then maybe get another starting rotation piece because I do think there's still a little bit of question marks with Zack Eflin. I think that's what he's going to do because right now I do think your lineup is more set than not because I do like the way the lineup can be set up when Bryce Harper and Gene Segura are in there. Your rotation has been solid overall this year with Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola as the 1-2. Kyle Gibson has been hit or miss, but his past couple of starts have been really good. Ranger Suarez looks like he's getting better as of late. And right now, your major question mark is Zack Eflin's health with the knee. So I think Dave Dombrowski does more minor stuff. And I do think, because I think the MLB draft is actually tomorrow. And I think there is a rumor that the Phillies might draft another pitcher. I'm trying to think, where was that one tweet that I saw? I think it was from Philly. Here we go. Phillies Nation says multiple insiders predict that the Phillies will select Kumar Rocker in the MLB draft. So if I go to that and look at this, basically everything right here, just to see. Kumar Rocker, he was actually drafted by the Mets last year in the first round, and he didn't sign with them. So that's something interesting right there. So let me read this article. With the Major League Baseball draft set to commence Sunday, multiple outlets have now released their final mock drafts at the Philadelphia Phillies selecting righty Kumar Rocker. Both Keith Law of The Athletic and Joe Doyle of the Prospects Live believe that the Phillies will use the number 17th overall pick on Rocker, perhaps the most debated player in the 2022 class. A year ago, Rocker was taken by division rival New York Mets with the number 10 pick, but he ultimately didn't sign with the team. In fact, they never offered him a contract. John Heyman of the New York Post hears that the Mets doctors question his shoulder durability. However, Heyman adds that Rocker recently had a shoulder scope and should be a first-rounder again. Rocker, who Law says has number 2 starter upside, has pitched in the Tri-City Valley Cats at the Frontier League in what's essentially turned into a gap year. For the 22-year-old, Rocker has a 1-0 record with a 1.35 ERA and 32 strikeouts across 5 starts, which has spanned 20 innings. While he was times overshadowed by his teammate Jack Leiter, Rocker was excellent in his final season at Vanderbilt, posting a 14-4 record with 179 strikeouts and a .934 WHIP over 122 innings. In total, Rocker posted a 2.89 ERA across 3 collegiate seasons. Any team selecting Rocker would have to balance the uncertainties about his long-term durability with the tantalizing potential he would have almost immediately. If not as soon as the final weeks of the 2022 season, one would think Rocker would be in play to make his major league debut relatively early in 2023. The Phillies have selected high school pitchers in the first round in each of the first 2 seasons under scouting director Brian Barber. While early returns on Micah Bell and Andrew Painter have been very good, Law predicts that the Phillies won't take a prep arm for the 3rd time in as many years with their top pick, with Doyle adding that he continues to hear the Phillies connected to college pitchers. So yeah, I wouldn't mind drafting a Kumar Rocker. because from what all the reports say, he does have really good stuff and he has really good potential. Like basically what the article said, it's durability and injury concerns. But right now, I do think the Phillies are prioritizing starting pitching in the draft and really developing starting pitching, which I like to see. You can never have enough pitchers in the starting pitching rotation depth because you have Micah Bell, you have Andrew Painter, you have I'm trying to see it. What are the Phillies pitching? Let me see. Phillies prospects. I just look at them in general. Top prospects. So you got Andrew Painter, Micah Bell, Logan O'Hope. There we go. Griff McGarry. He's in AA right now. He's 23 years old. He's one of the other pitching prospects. Hans Krause is also a top pitching prospect for the Phillies. I know he's struggling though down in this year. Or is he injured actually? Not sure. But I know Andrew Painter, Micah Bell, Griff McGarry, they're one of the top people in their depth-wise of pitching. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past Dave Dombrowski to select another pitcher. I wouldn't mind it either. Like I said, you can never have enough starting pitching in the prospect system. Look at what the Dodgers do. They drafted a lot of starting pitchers. Some of them were moved. But like I said, you can never have enough starting pitching. Sean Fitzpatrick says center field to me is priority one. That could also be understandable. But I also do see the Phillies making a move more like a trade or maybe an offseason trade or maybe an offseason free agency signing to fill that hole. I know the Phillies are connected to Trey Turner next year. I know John Heyman has posted a lot that Trey Turner wants to come back to the East Coast. And he says the Phillies could be the favorite to land him next year because you do have Gene Secor coming off the books. You do have Didi Gregorius coming off the books next year as well, so that's going to free up some money. So there's definitely some question marks there. Who knows, though? Kumar Rocker gets selected every year, it seems like. I think last year was the first year he was drafted, and he just wasn't offered a contract by the Mets. It's weird, though. Like, why would you draft him and then not offer him a contract? It's weird. Wouldn't the MLB draft be more exciting if teams can make trades? I do think they're trying to fix it. I know teams are allowed to trade picks now, which I think they're starting to. I think you never know. There could be something surprising at the MLB draft. You never know. Definitely never know. His father, Tracy Rocker, coaches D-line with the Eagles. There's a connection. Never know. Channel Name says he's fine with hoarding pitchers. Every team wants to add pitching. Yeah, like I said, you can never have enough pitching in the depth pool. Never have enough. You, my friend, are correct. The second half of the season should heavily favor the Phillies, the Reds, the Nationals, the Pirates, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, like I said, winning series is the most important thing, and you have a very favorable schedule in the second half of the year. Like I said, you are going to be eventually facing the Mets again. You're going to be facing the Braves and stuff. But I know you face the Astros too. I think that's the last series of the year. But then you also face a lot of beatable teams. A lot of teams that favor your schedule. Like what Scott says, Reds, Nationals, Pirates, Diamondbacks. So there's chances here for you. There definitely are. Let me look at the rest of their schedule too. Just so I can see like the quality of opponents they're facing. So if I go to the second half here on ESPN, Chicago, seriously, the first series after the All-Star break, you're facing the Chicago Cubs at home. Then you have a 4-game series at the end of the month against the Pirates. You play 4 games against the Nationals at home, then 3 games against the Marlins, 3 games against the Reds, 4 games against the Reds, another series against the Pirates, series against Arizona. So basically looking at this end of July to August schedule, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 out of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 out of the next 12 series, which is from the end of July to the end of August. 8 out of those 12 teams are teams that are most likely below 500 or near 500. Cubs, Pirates, Nationals, Marlins, Reds. Those are a lot of winnable series in the month of August, specifically in the month of August. Also at the end of July too, because you do play the Cubs and the Pirates. So there's a lot of chances for this team to win a lot of games and win a lot of series. So this month of August is huge for this team to prove who they really are and beat these bad opponents. Like really. And then you go into the month of September. You play the Giants on the road, Nationals again, Miami, Toronto, Atlanta. You have a couple of series. Then you have Chicago. And then you close out the season with 2 series against Chicago and Washington. And then you do have a series against Houston at home. But like I said, this month of August is huge for this team. This last stretch of July into the end of August, really huge because you're facing a lot of bad opponents. And take advantage of that. Take advantage of that wholeheartedly. Hey, this is the same team that can't beat the Texas Rangers. No wins are certain. Yeah, definitely not. But they've proven to us more times than not they have beaten a lot of worse opponents this year. But still, like I said, they need to take advantage of the schedule, though. They definitely do. Need to take advantage of it. Just got off the lake and it was out of service in the area, so we've been off the grid. 10-0. Is this correct? Break out the brooms, baby. If it comes down to the end of the year, we got to play the Astros. Hopefully, they are resting their starters for the playoffs. Like I said, take advantage of this last stretch of July and going into August. Schedule definitely favors you. It really does. You got to take advantage of that. You're going to be getting a rested week for the All-Star break. I know Gene Segura, they said he might come back earlier than not, but I think Gene Segura is expected back sometime in August. Same thing with Bryce Harper. Maybe late August, beginning of September for him. So you're eventually going to be getting some bodies back too, which is very huge. That is very huge. And whatever moves you make at the deadline. Like I said, I think the deadline's in August too. So like I said, I think you're going to be making some more depth moves. Like I said, adding to the bullpen, adding to the bench, adding to the starting rotation possibly. I don't think it's going to be anything major. Maybe he does go out there and trade for an outfielder to play center field. Just got to wait and see. Just got to wait and see what happens. But like I said, huge series win against the Marlins. And you just got to take advantage of every series that you can have upcoming. We get this huge series win. Have a chance to sweep tomorrow, whatever, Nola on the bump. It's your better chance than not. Offense exploded today. I would like to see him do the same thing against Trevor Rogers, who has been struggling this year. I would like to see a sweep. But also winning the series is more important, and that's exactly what you did. So, yeah, that's where we stand. So, I think that's where I'm going to end it, folks. Enjoy the rest of the day. So let's see where we at. I hope you also all of you enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate everyone here that joins the live feed as always. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Definitely have to check those out. Oh, yeah. One more question here from Sean. Any Gene Segura updates timetable-wise? I know he's starting to play in the field. He's taking ground balls during batting practice and all that stuff. You're probably going to expect him getting a rehab stint maybe sometime in August. That's what I would assume. It was like the 8 to 10 week timetable. When did he get injured? Like the beginning of June or something like that? So I would like to see most likely somewhere around there. That's what I would assume. So yeah, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd like to see this as always. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to check out everything in the description below. Painted Lines, BrodesMedia. Check all that stuff out. I recommend it. I also recommend hitting the subscribe button. And I also recommend using the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I'll see you next time, everyone.